here at the HyArts Shanties at Bismore Park. Today's Shanty Spotlight is Harriet Zabusky-Zand. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
Lovely artwork. You've been a painter for 30 years. Tell me, what started that passion for painting?
Well, actually, my first teacher was my father, who, although his business was, he ran a supermarket, he was quite a good painter, and he liked to draw and sculpt. So when I was a kid in Savannah, Georgia, on the weekends, he used to take me on, sort of sketching trips around Savannah, which is a beautiful city and very colorful. So I feel like that was a very early influence. And it took me a long time to come back to doing it because I went to college. I did not go to art school. So it wasn't until much later that actually with my son, I started doing arts and crafts projects with him, and that sort of got me back into doing art. And initially, I was a weaver, and I wove tapestries and rugs. And then when we were living in England during that time, and when we came back to this country, I applied to the School of the Museum of Fine Arts, and much to my amazement, I was accepted. So that's when I started painting really, seriously, and I went on to get a master's in fine arts from Mass Art with the idea that I wanted to teach drawing and painting.
Wonderful. It just sounds like you have such a passion for art, and it really is a passion for you. But then you moved on to not just painting. You eventually, recently, about 10 years ago, you started pottery.
Right. I have a friend in Savannah who's a sculptor, and he had just started painting, and we spend the winters in Savannah. Especially this winter, I'm happy I wasn't here. So in exchange for my sort of teaching him painting, he let me use his sculpture studio. And at the end of that time, he said, well, you've done some really ambitious things here. So I think it would be a good idea if you just took a basic ceramics course just to, learn more about the medium. So I did, and I got hooked. I love the physicality of pottery, and it's been the hardest thing I've ever tried to learn. So I like challenging myself.
Well, you can tell the things that we see behind us are absolutely amazing. And one thing that I notice about all of your pottery is the colors. You use very, very vivid colors. You must really be a lover of color.
I am. I think that's a thread that runs through all of my work is color.
And one thing I noticed too is you have a variety of things that are just basically for art purposes and also functional items as well. Talk to me a little bit about the variety we see behind us.
Well, when I first started doing pottery, one of the things that attracted me to it was a mug is a mug is a mug. You drink out of it. No philosophy, no, nothing else. It's just straightforward. But as I've continued doing pottery and developing more skill, I guess once you're an artist, you're always an artist. So what I'm really drawn to now are very simple, fluid forms that are very just minimal in a way. And they're like a canvas for me to try new glazes, and again, color is the color and the form, the way they come together is what's really exciting to me.
And interesting too, what is the most difficult piece for you to create that you have here at the Artist Shanty?
That's a tough line, let me think. Um, well, the most difficult one are these wheel forms, because they have a tendency. I work in porcelain, which has a tendency to crack generally, and with these wheel forms, that's especially true. So there've been some good ones, but there's been a high failure rate too. So that's the most difficult one.
And here at the Artist Shanty, you have not only the ceramics, but you also have your paintings and some prints for us. Talk to me about what it was like preparing to be here.
It's a big job. It's a lot of work. First of all, you have to select what you're going to bring, because it's a good sized space, but it's not totally, unlimited. And then everything, I pack things as if they were going to be shipped across the country. So that, takes a lot of effort. And what I usually try to do is I learned after an early festival that ended in a thunderstorm, and I had cardboard boxes, that plastic boxes were a good investment.
Yeah.
So mostly what I do is I put the work in where it's going to go in the space. So like there was a box for the main table, and there was another box for the wall shelves. So when I get here, basically what it is just deciding what's going where, but it's pretty much already organized.
Pretty exciting to be here too. It's a beautiful spot. We're right here on the harbor. It seems that the artists have developed a community down here. What are you most excited about being a part of the HyArts Shanty program?
I just think it's a great program. I think it's a real addition to the waterfront, and it reminds people that there is a lot of talent here on Cape Cod. And when I was here last year, the people experiences were really, really wonderful, because I met people from all over the world, and it was just very interesting. I really enjoyed talking with people. And of course, you're always happy about selling work. So that's definitely part of it too. So my work is looking for new homes.
Wonderful. Well, we wish you much success this summer. Thank you so much for sitting down with us. I really appreciate it. I'm Sarah Mantle for Harriet Zabusky-Zand, wishing you an artful day.